Adam Wylde, host of the Adam Wylde Show. We're really creative with the naming thing here on Kiss 92.5. I do afternoons from 3 to 7. I also host a couple podcasts, one with my friend who's a Ryerson grad. His name's Steve Dangle. And another one for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I also kind of fill in sometimes for Kevin Frankie Show on Breakfast Television. That's what I do. Well, I mean, there's a ton, because being a Canadian artist is tough. It's a tough slugging sort of business because, you know, everybody thinks that because you're an artist, you make piles of cash. But I know there's lots of people out there that, you know, are on the road for a year and they come home with maybe, you know, $40,000, right? It's like working a real job. So one guy that I really respect is Sean Desmond, because he's been doing it for 20 years and he is still a genuine good guy. He helps a bunch of other artists. You know, that's a guy that I had the pleasure of getting to know personally, and I have to say, one of the best people I've ever met. I have a ton of respect for somebody that not only has been successful on their own, but pays it back to the Canadian artist community, which is kind of a big deal as well. It was amazing. It's one of those things that you don't ever see yourself doing because you don't dare to dream that much, but that was a very cool experience. The biggest hurdle that I had to kind of go through was, you know, people don't realize how much research you have to do, and they give you a binder with stacks full of paper, because literally everyone in music, and all types of music, world music, hip hop, R&B, country, pop, rock, everybody is walking and doing these carpets. So they come up to you and you're like, you've won their Grammy for being the best flutist in the world. Wow, that's fantastic. Like, I gotta know who you are. So there was a couple people that I came up and I had to sort of go, all right, who is this? Ask a couple questions first, then figure it out, then continue the interview. So yeah, it was it was an incredible experience. It went by in a flash, and I loved it and would do it again. So streaming. I think it's going to be interesting. I don't know how it's all going to shake out. I know that more than ever, personalities are important. So if you're on the air or if you're creating content and you're a producer and that sort of thing, I think that it matters now more than ever, because it used to be that people only got their music from the radio and they only heard new songs on the radio, but now you can look it up on YouTube and Spotify and everything else. So the radio's position in the world has changed. You know, we're not just a music box anymore. So because of that, kind of have to figure out what your new identity is going to be. And I don't think we figured that out yet. I think it's still up in the air. So I think you're going to see one company go to a subscription model where, you know, you pay a couple bucks a month, and it's basically Spotify, but with radio as well. So you'll get great shows, great podcasts, that sort of thing. And then I think you'll see another company or two try to go the free route and continue to make money off ad sales. So it's who knows what's going to work. It's just a matter of kind of hoping and praying that whatever model you happen to be working for, whatever company you happen to be working for, continues and chooses the right path. And what's going to matter mostly, what's going to keep us relevant, is relevant people. You know, and that's really the end of it. Like, what you guys are doing here is going to be even more important as the years go on. Whereas, you know, when we grew up, especially when I grew up, there were people basically getting cut from the radio, and, you know, they'd allow you to talk maybe a minute for an entire hour. So it's going to matter more and more and more that we can create great videos, great audio, great everything.